Hey folks, it's Piotr from ChronoLogic. Today I'm going to show you how to use Zapier automation platform with the Automate plugin that we just did and released. First, you need to obviously have an account on the Zapier, so you go to the zapier.com, create your own account, and you're ready to go basically. So for those who don't know what Zapier is basically a integration platform where you can combine multiple inputs and outputs. For instance, as you see here, you can do stuff like, save new Gmail accounts to Google Drive, or like, email to Slack, or do whatever. But, we are more interested in interactions with the Ethereum blockchain. So today I'm going to show you how to create and utilize our plugin Automate to react to the incoming transaction to my account. So, if I get some incoming Ether, I will send the transaction to, let's say, to someone else. Okay. So let's get started. Let's try to do that. So we start with pressing make a Zap. Zap is just the term for the integration. So basically, the Zapier have the concept of triggers and actions. Triggers are the triggers. Basically, they will trigger your action. So for this example, we are going to utilize the plugin or the application called Dagger. So Dagger is a very neat application that is able to trigger your further actions on any incoming transaction or ERC20 token transaction. So in this case, we are going to use the new transaction thing. And it's, for the sake of the tests, we are going to use the Kova network, which is a test network on the Ethereum blockchain. And we are going to listen to the incoming transaction to my address, which is going to be basically this address. Okay, so, that's done. I mean, that's the trigger. We already did the trigger. We can continue, and add more steps. So here also, I'm going to use the filter, which is like a helper step, in order to filter the amount of the incoming Ether. So basically, I don't want to execute my transaction if I get whatever the amount of Ether that I'm not really interested in. Let's do this instead. That let's say when I get half of the Ether, then I will continue, triggering my action. So here, and this is really interesting, is that you see all the possible fields that you can filter on, and these fields are coming from the Dagger. So here you have things like from a human readable amount, which is a one represents one Ether, because typically the value is represented in the way, which is 10 to 18th of Ether. So we're gonna use the human readable amount, and I'm gonna say that the number which is greater than 0.1 Ether, and we can just go do the test and continue. Zapier says that in this case, using the test data, which is actually having 1 Ether as a test data, this filter will continue, which is fine. So now at the current stage, we have a trigger and a filter, right? So we have something that's gonna, says if the transaction coming to my account and the amount is greater than 0.1, I wanna trigger something. And here, obviously, you can use whatever the output you want to use, Slack message, email, do something, do whatever. There's hundreds of these applications, but for this particular case, I want to use our plugin called Automate. You will find it by this with this logo. And by the way, if you don't see the Automate plugin, please go to the description of this video and use the invitation for this plugin. So after following this invitation link, you will see the Automate plugin. So you see that this is by invite now. Okay, so what we can do at the moment of the automate plugin is to paste the sign Ethereum transaction, which is a action that's gonna get executed. So we just select execute Ethereum transaction, save and continue. And here we need to generate our signed transaction. I'm gonna use the My Ether wallet with the offline transaction functionality in order to do that. So just follow me. If you don't know how to do that, you can basically use any of the existing Ethereum wallets that have this functionality. So signed transaction basically is a transaction that you sign by using your private keys, and you typically broadcast to the Ethereum node, and then it gets to the transaction pool and gets mined by the miners. So it's safe, and it can't be tampered. So this is like one thing that you can't really change. So it's and now I'm gonna show you how to do that by using My Ether wallet. So here we're switching to myetherwallet.com wallet, and we're going to select the send offline. It's here in the main menu. Also, because we want to trigger, we want to get the trigger on a Kovan network and send the transaction on a Kovan as well. So make sure if you do this on the same network, just to select the proper Ethereum network, which in our case is Kovan. Okay, so this is basically the inputs that we want to do. But first thing first, you need to unlock your wallet. So obviously, if you are interacting with the main chain Ethereum, please use the safe solutions like the hardware wallets, MetaMask for a pennies, and My Ether Wallet Connect is really neat as well. For now, I'm gonna use the keystore file. I'm on a testnet, so I'm not really worried about losing of those test ethers. So I am selecting and unlocking my wallet. Okay, so wallet successfully decrypted, and now I'm going to put the address of the account that's gonna be the sender. And in our case, it's gonna be the same account that is listening or expecting to get the ether. So I paste the address and then press the generate information, and here basically it shows me that my nonce, which is like a consecutive number that is incremented when you execute or when you broadcast or execute the transaction, so it's 88. And here I'm going to put the standard Ethereum or the transaction inputs. So in this simple case, I'm gonna send to some other address, which is like this. And since we are listening for 0.1 ether to arrive, let's say I wanna just forward this 1.1 ether to the other account. Here are the standard things, so gas limit, gas price, nonce, everything is just fine. Again, and now it's the most important thing. So when we press generate transaction, essentially what is happening now in the background is that we signing these inputs with our private key, and we generate this signed transaction, serialized string. And so this is the input for the automate plugin. So what we need to do now is to copy this input from the signed transaction from here into this field. Now this is our a transaction that we want to get executed when the Dagger sees that incoming transaction to this account. We press continue, and basically now what you can do is that you can put the send test to the automate, and don't worry, it's not gonna obviously execute this transaction, because this transaction when it's executed, it can be obviously executed just once, but instead it's gonna validate, and it's gonna send you the the parse transaction, so you can actually see that it's going from this account to this account. The state is test, so it has not been executed. The hash of this transaction that we are going to look at, further is this, and we are going to send 0.1 ether, which is here actually denominated in way, and here you have the signature components. Okay, so yeah, now at this moment we just done, so we can press finish, and let's name it like forward 0.1 ETH to Bob, and we just press on, and yes, off we go, we done. So basically now when the incoming transaction hits my account, the Zapier, by using the automate plugin, will forward this ether to Bob.